Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we're going to talk about Daryl Dixon taking some of Comic Carl's storyline. Now, two things. One, we're talking about comic book spoilers a little bit. Nothing major, so don't even fuss about it. Some minor stuff between issues 100 and 110, somewhere around there. And the second thing I want to talk about, this is potentially from a spoiler site, but it's not a spoiler, and it's a cluster trying to explain this, so let me just quickly try so you understand what I'm talking about. When there's no trailers or promos, a lot of internet articles will go to spoiler sites because, the internet articles, the internet websites, they make money off ads, and that's how we get clickbait. They put a ridiculous title, you click on it, boom, they get a view, they can count all that up and then charge for advertising, whoop-de-whoop, however that works out. So, when there's no trailers, there's no show, there's nothing meaty to discuss, they'll get leaks, they'll get spoiler site information, they'll get set photos. Now, when they do that, it matters on which which internet sites will either publish, the major spoilers or minor. It just matters on which one. And I know this one in particular came from comicbook.com. So if you go there, for news articles, keep in mind, they usually say it in the beginning, but keep in mind, these sites are pulling from spoilers. With that said, also, please do not start sending me loads of spoiler site articles. I will skim through some, and when you guys send me certain links, if you make sure there's nothing like spoilery in it, I will look it over and we'll see if there's enough there or if it's actually a real article, because there's a ton of fake ones. If there's enough there to make a video on it, I'll look into that, but please try your best. There's more of you out there than there is me. Just try your best to make sure you're not sending me spoilers, because I get that a lot. I'll be on Twitter, someone will message me, "Hey Ronnie, I just seen your latest video, man. That shit was awesome. I was at the spoiler site. What do you think about this new piece of information?" So basically, the main thing that started this whole idea that Daryl Dixon's going to take some of Comic Carl's storyline is apparently Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Daryl Dixon and Negan, are seen on set a lot together. Now, before I get into some deep discussions, I just want to say, this could actually be nothing. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Daryl Dixon are really good friends in real life, so it makes sense that if you have a real good friend on set, you're going to go say hi, you're going to chit-chat and bullshit with them, of course you're going to get seen together a lot, even if you don't even have many scenes together, if you're in the same area, you're going to walk over to them, especially if you don't get many scenes together, because you're not talking to them, in between takes and shit like that. So this could actually be nothing, because they're really good friends in real life. But with that said, the concern here is that, and it is true, Daryl Dixon did kind of push Tyrese out of the way a little bit when it came time for Comic Tyrese's story to come to the screen. It was, now here, I will defend this though, because the writing, whatever direction they were taking for season 3, I don't know if it was the showrunner or how much say he had in it, but it definitely was going in a bad direction. It was a horrible idea to send Andrea's character down that path as a fan and then kill her. That should not have happened the way it did. She should never have went with the governor, none of that whole shit. And it was also a bad idea to have, in my opinion as a fan, to have Tyrese and Sasha come to the prison and get kicked out in one of the worst scenes I personally feel as a fan in the entire series. And it's not, I talked about this previously, it doesn't have to do with Andrew Lincoln's acting. I love Andrew Lincoln. We'll discuss that in a deep analysis when I get around to it. So I think there was some mistakes made in season 3. And with that said, the showrunner and the writing team, when they came together to do 4, they did redeem themselves with Tyrese saving Judith, meeting up with Carol. I really like that storyline, and I really like, it's one of my favorite moments where Carol doesn't tell him, but Rick sees Tyrese and Judith come out that cabin. It touches me every time. Here's the thing. They did what they could in the aftermath of season 3, and I feel like when fans say that's a problem, Daryl pushed Tyrese out, I say, sure, but not completely, because I think there was just a disconnect there. Something was problematic in writer's room. I am convinced, that's a better way to, there was something off in season 3. Even when I marathon it, there is fucking something there. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what exactly. There's just something that's problematic in season 3. Anyway, now when we're talking about Abraham, it's not just Daryl. And again, I'll defend Daryl here. And it's not just Daryl, because Michonne took Abraham's funniest line from the comic, where Rick punches Aaron. Abraham looks over and he's like, that was my I think he's okay look, not punch him in the face look. It was, they do it better. You know that line. And then when Michonne and Rick are sitting there and the claimers come up, Rick bites out his throat. That's Michonne. In the comic, it was Abraham. They do that whole ordeal. Abraham is the one holding Carl, while Rick is gutting the guy. In the show, it's Michonne. Then it switches over to Daryl. Daryl and Rick are sitting at the car having this little tiny conversation. Now, in the comic, it was Abraham and Rick. And I do like the way they came out of season 3 and into 4 with that story, and they separated Abraham. But I really wish they pulled Abraham back a little. They tried to do it bits and pieces here and there. Recently in season 6, when Rick came back, when Michonne and Glenn and Rosita got captured, and Daryl, Rick comes back and he has that small moment with Abraham. Immediately that made me nervous for Abraham, because like Tyrese, they squeezed that Judith moment in there before Tyrese dies, a few episodes before he dies. Maybe they were doing that with Abraham, is what my worry was. So when I'm saying I am agreeing with you guys that Daryl is a concern for pushing comic characters out of the story, but at the same time I'm defending it, it has a lot to do with looking at it not being biased. I do agree Daryl Dixon does push some characters out of the way, and it's unfortunate. Not because we hate Daryl Dixon, but because we want to see more of other characters we love. I love Norman Reedus. I have been a fan of Norman Reedus since 2000. I think late 1999 with Boondock Saints. Ever since then, if Norman Reedus was in something and I found out about it, I'm watching it. I'm supporting him. So now I'll sit here and sometimes I'll be on camera and I'll be like, you know what? I fucking had it. Daryl Dixon, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like when Rick says, "We are the Walking Dead." Fuck, I love Gimple, but if it was Gimple's idea to have Daryl say, "We're not dead yet," or whatever, you should bitch slap yourself. Again, fuck. And I know that the majority feels that way too, because that is all I heard on the internet after that moment. So many fans were like, "Oh my god, they did it. It was so awesome. Fuck you, Daryl." It's little shit like that. And here's the thing. I understand the writing. I understand completely why Daryl did that. But just have Daryl give a look, because we are so invested into that moment. Rick gives this good speech, and we're there, man. And then you just have Daryl take it some other different way. He's like, "We're not dead yet," And Rick is just like, "Well, that's awkward." "Well, I know, but I mean it like, So listen, sometimes I'll do this on camera. I'll be like, "Yeah, Daryl, okay, knock it off, Daryl. Have Negan kill him, get him out of the way, push his story over there. Enough of Daryl." But in the same strength, after I'm done with the video, I'll be like, "Fuck, why'd I say that? I fucking love Norman Reedus. I don't want him killed off the show." He's loving it. He's having fun. And I like Daryl Dixon when he's done right. I go back and rewatch season 1, and I love Daryl 10 times more than now. And it's because of the character. The character was very different. Why they decided to change that is just beyond me. There's glimpses of old Daryl in the new shit, but it's like they went for that, "Oh my god, he's getting women wet across the world, let's go for that strong, silent type." Fuck no. Let's go back to chokeholds are illegal, I want that Daryl Dixon back. And we'll never get him back, because it's fucking too late. Because we had a certain Daryl for 3 seasons, and then from, 4, 5, and 6, they changed him into this strong, silent type. So, it is a concern. But, again, defending the choice, I still strongly believe it is a better option to use what they have started, use Daryl to get to Dwight. Not Negan, to get to Dwight. Because now Daryl can see what Dwight's been through, what the sanctuary's like. Daryl could be the key to getting Dwight on the savior's side. The savior's side. Holy fuck, I retire. Daryl is the key to getting Dwight on the savior's side. If they stick with something similar to the comic, he's the key to that. Negan just has to take him. Daryl, wounded, healing, can see this. Not be so it won't be so problematic. It won't be so confrontational. You'll have a wounded Daryl. He'll have to heal over time, and it will take time. And in the meantime, during this healing process, he can truly see what position Dwight was in and how Negan really messed him up. So, like I said, you can defend this. You can defend Daryl pushing the character stories out, the comic characters, but you can also see it and agree with it, and that's where I'm at. I think it is clever for them to have him there, but be careful also.
I got clothes.
Did you have fun? Yeah? I'll see them in 1 second. I'll be right there. Yeah, definitely, it's a really fine line you got to walk as a writer to write it right and then be good with the fans, but still make it, genuine and make it flow with the story. Really fine line, I feel. At least that's my opinion. You have any different opinions, leave those down below. The closer we get, the more excited I am. This month, at the end of this month, we're getting our Season 7 trailer. I can't wait. Thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.